Welcome back, everyone. I decided to make another little update video. It's definitely not going to be as long as the last one was, but I was happy to see a lot of positivity down in the comments. I actually kind of forgot about the video and then I found it again. I just kind of looked over the comments, and so that was pretty fun. Responded to some of you guys, so hopefully you have all come back for this one. Last time I had about 319 movies. That was about 2 months ago, and now I got 347. So I was just gonna go over real quick what I have purchased since then. As you can see, there's some on here already. Because I've gotten so many since last time, they don't all appear in the recent purchases. So I'll just kind of have to do a little editing to pop into the ones that I have gotten, but for right now, I have To Catch a Thief, 1955. It's the Alfred Hitchcock movie. I have not seen this yet, continuing the trend of buying but not watching movies. Heat, Dodgeball. I just watched Dodgeball last night for the first time. I'm not a huge comedy person, I've come to realize, although you can see, I've kind of been on a little bit of a comedy roll lately, but I watched Step Brothers and Dodgeball for the first time recently, and I would say out of the two, Step Brothers is better, but I wouldn't say either of them are masterpieces of any kind. I might be stepping on some toes again with that, but yeah, it's just my opinion, I guess. I got the Disney Parent Trap, A Room with a View, a great Brie Larson movie, Room. I always recommend people that kind of hate on Brie Larson or her acting ability. I always recommend that they go see Room if they haven't, because that's a really great display of her acting ability. I don't think that she was able to come across as well as she could have in the Captain Marvel movie, which obviously is what she's going to be most known for now. But yeah, so and then we got Donnie Darko. For some reason, I don't really know anything about this movie, other than a lot of people like it, and it was on sale, so of course I got it. But it says it's the anniversary special edition. Now I don't know what exactly that means, because I haven't seen the original, if this isn't the original, so I don't know what's special about this one, if there is anything. I mean, I would think there would be something different about it if it's called an anniversary special, but maybe it's just something in the special features. Alternate movies selection. Oh, it's probably just a special features thing then. That probably answers it then. But yeah, now I'm going to be doing some editing here. I'm going to jump into the ones that don't fit here. Hannah from 2011. Again, kind of continuing the trend with me about not really knowing a whole lot about this movie. But I always kind of just see it on iTunes and other places, and I always wonder, what is this movie? And I never realized it was Saoirse Ronan in the lead role until a while ago, and I've kind of been growing increasingly more of a bigger fan of Saoirse Ronan. Everything I hear she's gonna be in, I'm interested in. And it looked like this was probably one of her first movies because she's quite young in this, but I don't know. But yeah, so that one I picked up for $4.99, I think. Yeah, and then the next one is Midnight in Paris, directed by Woody Allen. Some of you might be familiar with this movie. I'm not really, other than the trailer looked pretty interesting, and you know, Woody Allen, all of his movies kind of just have that feel to them. I'm not really sure what the feel is that I'm talking about, but I just kind of like his directing style. Yeah, so I have yet to watch this, but the next one is The Mosquito Coast, directed by Peter Weir. For some reason, I wanted to collect all of Peter Weir's movies, just because I think he's just one of those directors that I like to follow, because if you look at all of his work, they go together really nicely. So I don't really know much about this one either. I'm kind of getting tired of saying that. I wish I knew more about my own movie library. But yeah, I have more time to buy than I do to watch. So that's why I have so many that I don't really know a whole lot about. I don't really like to say that I know a lot about something unless I've actually seen it. So, yeah. So this is just one of them from Peter Weir that went on sale. And since it was Peter Weir directing, I just went ahead and picked it up without really knowing what all it was. But next up we have Gallipoli, or Gallipoli. I'm not really sure how exactly you say it. But this is another one of those Peter Weir movies that went on sale, so I picked it up. I really know nothing about this at all, other than it was Peter Weir, so I bought it. But you know, starring Mel Gibson. But yeah, I don't really know much about this movie. Next up we have Cinema Paradiso. I think that's how you pronounce it. I pretty much only bought this, having never heard of it before, but for Christmas my brother got me a top 100 movies list. It's like a scratch off board with like 100 supposedly top movies. And this was on there, and I'm trying to clear it all off. So, and this went on sale. So I was like, well, might as well get it now instead of having to possibly rent it for around the same price later. That's how I justify my movie spending. But yeah, pretty much all I know about it is it's a foreign film, which I do struggle with, but I'm going to try to give it a chance. I don't struggle with it just because it's a foreign film. I struggle with subtitles because I'm just not a very fast reader. But yeah, next up is The English Patient. That's quite a long movie, 2 hours and 41 minutes long. Again, I don't know a whole lot about this, but I have heard that it's very highly esteemed movie, uh, and it was on sale, so I picked it up. Just patient. I think it's like a romance of some kind, uh, but I'm not sure. Next up is King's Row from 1942. This actually has Ronald Reagan in it, which is funny because I always forget that Ronald Reagan was an actor. Um, Funny thing about this movie, if you want to know where John Williams quite possibly could have gotten the inspiration for the Star Wars theme, listen to the main titles of this movie and tell me that it does not sound exactly like Star Wars. So that's a little fun thing you can go do right after this. But I haven't watched this yet. I really want to because it seems like it's going to be really good. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Next up we have Misery, if it will load. Directed by Rob Reiner. I think Rob Reiner was the same director for The Princess Bride, if I'm remembering correctly. I have not seen this yet, but I've heard a lot about it for a long time. This is kind of one of those movies that I only buy basically because I have heard the performances in the movie get built up so much, and it just looks like it has a couple of really great performances in it. So that's just something that I really want to see, and it looks just really like it's gonna be a pretty uncomfortable movie to watch at some points, possibly. But yeah, kind of looking forward to seeing this eventually. So that is all of them so far. So yeah, let me know what you think about my recent purchases. I wish that I had seen more of them so that I could tell you what I think about some of them. But yeah, I literally, as much of a movie fan as I am, and you know how vast my collection is, I say that knowing full well that there are people that have way more movies than this. But I really only have about 1 or 2 days a week that I can actually watch movies. But even then, I don't always feel like watching anything. So I won't watch something just because I have time to do it. I only do it if I want to do it and have the energy to actually be invested in it. But yeah, some of you in the comments were asking about my setup and if it was 4K and all that stuff. I am using a 4K Apple TV. I have a 70-inch 4K. I think it's 4K HDR. So it's a nice display. It's not like the best TV ever, but it gets the job done for now. But something interesting that I'm doing lately is I host movie nights every Saturday, and right now we're going through a series where we watch 3 movies from every decade, starting from the 20s. We watch one every week, every Saturday. And right now, next week we will be finishing up, this week actually, we will be finishing up the 30s with, where is it at? Probably in here somewhere, yeah. we'll be finishing up the 30s with this movie, Boys Town. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Haven't seen it. Most of the ones that we watch movie night I have not seen yet, which sometimes pays off, and other times I kind of wish I had seen them first before I showed them to everybody. But yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting to see not only how film as an art form has changed and evolved over the decades, but also how just history in general and how everything's changed, the way people talk, the way people dress, directing styles, acting styles, set design styles, the types of stories that they used to tell versus the types of stories we tell now, just the different approaches to everything. So that's going to be pretty interesting to do that, and I might post in the description of this video the list of my whole outline of all the decades and all the movies that we plan on watching. A lot of them are still subject to change, because a lot of the choices on there are pretty much only on there because I already own them, and I'm trying to use it as an excuse to actually get some of these knocked off my list. So some of them on there from decades will be like, what? Why didn't you have that movie on there? It's like, well, because these are just the movies that I owned. I try to aim for one from like the early years in the decade, one from the mid, and then one from the late, just to get a nice even scale. But yeah, I also thought about showing you guys some of my movie posters, so maybe I'll just do that right now if you guys are interested in that. So first one we got here right by my door is a Shawshank Redemption one. The light there's kind of glaring on it, but that's just one of my favorite posters ever, and it's to a great movie. And then I have the Fellowship of the Ring. I just love this poster. I think it's super great. And then I got this giant movie reel or film camera projector thing. I'm not really sure. Right there. That's kind of like the main centerpiece. And then War for the Planet of the Apes, The Sound of Music, a little bit of Doctor Who action for you, and then Beasts of the Southern Wild. Just quite a glare. Let me get that glare out of the way. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, and then I got a Audrey Hepburn, and then over here got a little Wizard of Oz there. And then one of my favorite things that I own, wait for it, bam, it's like the biggest poster I have. It's a map of Middle Earth, which is really cool because now if you're ever watching the movies and you want to get a good idea of like how far they went, where's that? Right here is like the Shire and Hobbiton, and they went all the way over to, where's it? Mordor, somewhere. I'm not really sure. Maybe there, Mount Doom. So yeah, that's like, walking across Europe almost. So yeah. But there you have it, guys. That's all my recent purchases for you. Who knows, maybe I'll do some more. I'm not really a video maker or anything. Not really a huge interest of mine, but I liked a lot of the positive feedback I got from the last one, so I thought I'd update you guys again, since it seemed like you cared. So yeah, there you have it. Hope you guys have a great day. Keep on collecting, and I'll see you in a possible follow-up. Bye-bye.